I'm just so glad that you wanted to come on the show. It's just about crying. Get ready, it's the new edition. Your favorite morning meditation. Hey, it's me, pardon my success. I'm a hot mess. Pardon my success. Pardon my success. Pardon my success. Pardon my UPMS. Sadie Katz, welcome to Pardon My Success.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, no, it's such an honor to have you here. This is so exciting. I love that we match. I love that we have our matching little babe fanny packs that you so lovingly brought. And she also brought wine. So kind.
So I just want a gold star.
You
for
literally
pink
did.
star.
A pink star. A pink star for Pardon My Success. Thank you so much. I am very, very happy to have you. But Sadie is an incredible writer, actor, producer, director, everything. Content creator. You do it all. And I would just love to talk to you a little bit about what first drew you to storytelling.
Oh, I love that you said storytelling. We were just talking about being different generations, and I feel like Gen Z gets what storytelling's about. I mean, I'm like old school where I always wanted to be an actress. I'm going to really age myself. But back in the day when I was in like grade school, I did talent shows.
Oh, hell yeah.
I had no talent. Like none. Because then you didn't have to. You just did like lip singing.
Yes, lip syncing.
Right?
What song did you do?
Oh my God. So in first grade, the upper grade girls came up to me and asked if I would be their lead singer, and they were my backup dancers. I don't remember ever rehearsing or anything.
You just went out there.
I think so, because when the curtain opened, they were doing their backup dance, and all I remember is I'm looking out at everyone. I could see my mom's face, and I just thought, this is incredible. I couldn't move. I was terrified. I'm a nervous person. I've gotten better and better at disguising that, but I'm naturally a nervous person. Yeah. And I just remembered then that I was like, I'm going to be an actress. Like, it was really important to me. And then when it was done, I beat myself up for a year. I was only in first grade. I beat myself up for a year and cried to my mom constantly and said, next year I'm going to be amazing. So I practiced for a year. If I only had a brain, by Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God.
And dressed up as a scarecrow.
Oh my God.
And I was scared. I think I peed my pants a little bit because I wanted it so bad. That's always been my thing, is like, you know, and I do think in order to do things like this, you secretly and not so secretly have to want it, where it's like it fills you with this dread, anxiety, like an artist. A real artist is never satisfied. And I was like that all through growing up. Like every time they had announcements, I was listening to see if there was like a play or some performance thing. And I was never the best. I mean, maybe in my one high school because no one else would memorize lines, but I was never like, you know, I was never the kids now. They're really talented.
Yeah.
And I think we didn't have like YouTube tutorials. We didn't have anywhere to look. Like the biggest thing was Star Search.
So true.
So, I mean, but I knew I had that hunger.
Yeah.
I wanted to perform. I wanted to tell stories. I loved Wizard of Oz. Insanely so. And I think as I got older, I started writing my own plays. My mom had this giant green typewriter before we all had home computers, and it was missing an E. So I would type up plays.
Letter. It's the most used letter in the alphabet. What? It's the most used letter.
Yeah, well, that's what I was missing. No E. So I would like skip that space and write it in. I wrote a play for school. I typed out each copy. So if the play was 15 pages, I made like 10 copies. And, you know, I feel like, don't you have to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Like you have to.
You have to. It's very producer of you.
And people will be like, hey, you would be so great. You should do soap operas. And I'm like, well, yeah, but all of these worlds are not
They're so separate.
Yeah, they're so separate. And like, I have friends who do voiceovers and they're like, have done like 1,500 voiceover roles and they have all these characters and everything.
Well, I mean, but you have like 1,500 credits to your name.
Not that much, but I got a lot.
You have a lot.
I do.
That's incredible.
It's kind of crazy. I actually remember the first time I put a credit on IMDb and how long it took them to load the credit. If you don't pay for it, then you look really unprofessional.
Yep.
But then when you complain and say, hey, like you misspelt my name or someone put my name on this project I'm not even part of, they're like, oh, it's a hobbyist website. And then they rank you and it screws you because if my star meter goes all over, I've been 94. That's
pretty
amazing, right? The month I was 94, nothing changed. I was like waiting for the phone. I was like, and I've made it. It was like a fun thing. And everyone was like, wow, Sadie.
You did it.
Wow, you did it. And then I have 3 movies out that I'm the lead in. I'm doing all kinds of press. I'm hustling. And my numbers are like 25,000, which I'm like, what? There's no rhyme or reason. I think that influencers are killing IMDb because they're getting Googled so much. And so it's screwed up the algorithm. It works against actors in such a crazy way. And the worst thing about it is the instant feedback can actually kill a dream. I've actually been the lead in probably over a dozen films. That's cool. Which is wild. I'm not saying they're like, here's the thing, especially when you're doing indie films, sometimes the films that you're like, I'm going to go do this film. I got cast in it. I have no idea how it's going to do it. You just don't think anything of it. Those films or those projects sometimes end up surprising you because your job as an actor is you just like show up and to me you give 150% no matter what, if it's union, non-union, professional, super professional. And then the things that you're like, the things that everyone on set is like, yes, this is going to be incredible. And everyone's really excited. Or sometimes the things that you see and you just go, oh dear God, like it's such a mess. I don't really get my feelings hurt about it. Like I go to a premiere and I'm always the one and people are like, oh God, Sadie, what did they do? And I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be worse. I'm a pessimist.
I thought it was going to be worse.
I'm a pessimist. Or I like to say I'm a realist.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm like, you know what? It ended up better than I thought.
Rather be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. To me, a good story is a good story, a beginning, middle, and an end. And a lot of times, the best thing that you get to do as a producer. So I've started to, when I get cast, especially in these lower budget indie films, is to ask to come on as a producer. Because as an actor, I'm not supposed to say anything. I mean, you can collaborate a little bit, like, hey, I see the character this way. But if you're not coming in as a producer, you have no business saying anything beyond like you've got to say your lines, you got to defend your character, but like whether or not the sets work or the overall storyline or anything. So I have started to do that more. And that means I also then get to open up my pocketbook or like, hey, I know a good DP. So I start recommending actors and, people that I know. That I always think if you're going to hire someone, especially an indie film, you should only hire people that you've worked with.
Yep.
It's way too big of a risk. You need someone to show up and be ready to go.
Yeah.
And take it really serious. And also someone that is going to promote it.
Yeah.
People don't promote stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've had people on your podcast and then they don't share. Go, girl. Go, girl. I handed you the mic.
Makes me so sad. All these kinds of things.
Can I tell you, this is what it's like when you do a movie, especially when you produce a film, because it takes like a year for a movie to come out. The thing that makes you really crazy is when you've made like a film that you go, wow, this actor was really good in it. And then I go, darn, because they've moved on, that they no longer have or they've decided that they're going to go and be an influencer for something else, or that they don't have to promote the movie. And I'm like,
don't you want to?
Yeah. Why did you do all that? Like you literally were screaming and crying in a bathtub with blood dripping all over you. And now you're just not interested. It really is mind blowing when people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the premiere because I don't want to watch my acting. And I'm like, yeah, but yes, it won't be perfect. Yes, it's hard. Like there's sometimes you're like, why did they choose that take? But I'm like, if you're not going to hang out for your wins, if you're not going to celebrate it, then you're doing something wrong. Like then go do theater. Like,
So true.
Which I love theater.
Yeah.
I think I love that. But even then, we live in a time like you do theater. You're not going to like advertise that you're doing this play.
Yeah. Don't you want people to come see you? Like, isn't that the whole point of what you're doing? Is to be seen?
And then, you know, like I did my documentary, The Bill Murray Experience. So I worked so hard on it. And it took multiple years and like it kind of ruined like all projects. When you're doing a long-term project and it's creative, you lose friends or people that have expectations or they don't understand. It's very stressful. It's just a weird thing. And people sometimes also, if you get a little success, it seems like it's so much bigger online.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll see a friend and they'll go, oh my God, you're blowing up. You're so lucky. And I'm generating a lot of that stuff, girl. Like calm down. Like
paying for boosts.
Yeah,
please.
like I'm trying to boost it. I'm putting myself out there. But it's really hard to consistently do that and maybe not get the feedback that your imagination, that you've been the secret kind of crazy nonsense. But you have to hype yourself up. You're like, okay, I'm a cheerleader. And then you get the results back. Oh, here's the distribution. How many people watched my film last month? Here's what's crazy. And you know what? You don't always hit what you want.
Yeah.
Or the worst thing is a lot of the distributors kind of bury your stuff, just like all the algorithms bury. And then by then you've spent so much money and no one ever has enough money for advertising.
No.
Like back in the day, it was if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
That is a lie. If you pay for it, they will come. You have to have advertising.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Literally.
just like any brand. You came out with a new soap line. You'd either have to have somebody, you know, a Kardashian who puts it out there. And then you're like, wow, I spent no money, but you actually paid $1 million.
Millions.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, people don't also realize a lot of the times that what a movie costs to make, you then have to spend 3 times that amount to market it. That is what the standard is. 3 times the amount of money.
3 times?
3 times.
I do think that's missed in indie film a lot. And when you get to that part and you say, hey, we need this, like getting someone to review your film on Amazon, IMDb, iTunes is like you're asking them for blood. You're like, it takes 1 minute. This person who's like, I'm your ride or die. I love you, girl. I'm like, did you go on? Oh, yeah, I'm going to. It's the people that you're closest to. A very good friend of mine I love. She's like, yeah, I love you. And I'm really excited for you, but you're kind of spamming a lot. So I blocked you. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Just mute me.
Well, even that, I'm like, so I've been liking all your car pictures. Like, you can't do this. Like, you can't even stand to see my thing on your feed. It's like you ever watch someone go through their Instagram feed and they act like they only have 4 likes to give out. Yeah, I have a 24-year-old.
Which is insane.
And thank you. I'm like, we won't do the math.
You got a child at 5. Apparently.
Yeah, thank you. And then I have a little guy who's going to be 3 and he's so cute.
I love little ones.
He's a little troublemaker, but he's adorable.
Cutie babies.
In September, but gaining 60 pounds and losing it, that is no joke.
Yeah.
Like after you're 40, it is not the same. Like I used to be able to cut out bread and boom. And I did all the things to lose the weight. So I feel like it's, as I say, I feel like it's my duty to tell other women, like when they're like, you look great. Like, girl, I'm 99% Irish. We don't age great. Okay,
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
You have to do all the things, right? When I first moved to LA, it was like Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton. That like you went out anytime, and I was a single mom, and still, if you could go out, you could go out, or you like a lot of my job. I was like a pro model or cocktail waitress. Okay. There was a lot of jobs for like working or aspiring actresses, and now I'm like those jobs are all in your home, and then you audition in your home. Like I'm sure there's times you don't see anyone.
No one.
You have to wake up every day and be your own cheerleader.
Yeah, it's so hard. But I think the podcast has really helped with that because I'm able to meet so many different people and so many different artists and like kind of talk about the fact that like nobody's had it easy. If you have like been successful in any sort of way, it's taken a lot of work to get there. And even a lot of people, like I see you as a huge success. It's like you've done all of these different things. You've been in so many projects. You've been the lead in so many projects. You've made so many things of your own. And it's like, how did that actually happen? And
lots of tears.
It's hard.
And you have to be you have to want it so bad.
So bad.
That like I always say that I go through depression. I can be a very depressed person at times in my life, but like I now know myself enough that I'm like, yeah, but at the end of my depression, one day I will look out and go like, all right, I just got to do the work. And it's funny because once you create momentum, the 10 years or what is it, 1,000 hours, once you create that momentum, it makes it really hard to stop.
Yeah.
So like, yesterday, maybe I wasn't having the best day, and I was talking to my husband, and I was like, sometimes I just want to quit. I have my baby at home. So maybe I'll write a novel. And then I'm like, yeah, but I can't because I have this upcoming shoot, and I have these 4 films coming out. And then I get a phone call asking me to do something else. And I'm like, I must be doing the right thing.
You're on the right path.
Right.
There is so much competition, and there are so many people who are putting their utmost in, like they so desperately want it that you start questioning yourself, where it's like, well, do I want it enough? Am I working hard enough? Am I good enough at this? Like, there are so many people that are better. There's so many people that are younger and more ahead of me now. And like, what am I even doing? And I feel like it's that self-doubt that really starts to kind of like,
but you have to stay in long enough that you at least start making contacts. Because you know what's funny? When I was in a Meisner class in Los Angeles, and I remember like I was the only mom in the class. It was like 30 students, and they were all beautiful girls that were cooler than me. I was like divorced. I was 23, divorced with a kid, and I didn't have a peer group yet. Because I was religious and I like was leaving that religion. Yeah. And I remember in the class, like always sitting there and thinking, why would anything happen to me? Like I was like, if I could get one movie where I got to like carry a whole character, I would be so proud of myself. So I always try to judge that. But all of those kids and all of those girls that were just really talented knockouts, none of them are still doing it, which is wild to me. Like I kind of just outlasted and kept figuring it out. And I do think that it's about talent, but really it's about the hustle.
You are so right. Do you have any advice for young actors that are just starting out?
Don't join the union. Don't do it. Do not join SAG until there is a SAG gun at your head. And even now, I would say you could go FICOR. It's not the same. It used to be if you go FICOR, which is like opting out of the union, but you could still do SAG and not SAG. If you're an actor, you have to understand that most of the time, even if you were booking like crazy, there's dead periods. Even Ross from Friends couldn't get a job after working. I know a lot of actors that were very big deals and then they weren't, who ended up doing non-union stuff. I think that's a trap, because if you have no experience and then somehow you went, oh, I'm going to do my SAG experimental on YouTube, right? So I can get my SAG card, or I'm going to do extra work till I'm blue in the face until I get my SAG vouchers. Then they sign up for the union and they're like, I'm an actor now, but then they don't act because they're not ready to get in the room because they haven't been on set enough. So I always say, don't join the union. Don't do it until you have to. And you'll know when you have to because SAG will tell you. You'll be a forced join. And I even say when you're a forced join, ignore that letter until you can't. Because a lot of stuff right now is non-union that's really great. Yeah. I did a couple of like Skinamax movies and everyone was like, you shouldn't do Skinamax. You shouldn't. I like, it's nudity. It's crazy. It's like softcore porn. And I did a couple and they were really professional shoots. And it's what got me in the door to doing Wrong Turn, which was a big enough franchise that ended up getting me booked and in front of people. So you got to make your own path. And if you don't know anyone, whatever path that is interesting, and then your work, if you're good in something, you're good in it.
You just had a movie come out, which is super exciting. How is that going? What's going on?
It's not a horror film. It's an action film. It's an action drama.
Love that.
Which I'm not putting down my horror films at all, but it's fun to play in other genres. And I get to be, I feel like my storyline, I don't want to give anything away, but Clutch, it's out on Amazon and iTunes and Vudu. And
go watch. It'll be linked down below.
Fandango and all the things. It's really fun. It's about this. It's a rideshare driver who's down on her luck, Tanya, and who has Mr. X get in her car, and Kaivi Lyman, who is amazing. He gets in the car and he's like, hey, I have some errands to run. And his sister has been kidnapped. My good girlfriend, Augie Duke. It was all shot night shoots in downtown LA. Wow. It was really fun. I'm a fan of tight stories, a strong beginning, middle, and end, especially in indie film. Like, do not make a 2-hour long indie film. Why are you doing that?
Let us go home.
Yeah, it's like 85 minutes. I want to hear my story. I want to get out. And I feel like this was one of those films that I didn't know how it was going to be. I was like, how's it going to come out? And then when I saw it, I was like, really loved it. I was like, oh, this is a good film, a good action film with a small budget. It's hard to pull off. So I'm really proud of that. And then I've got Night Carnage coming out at the end of the month. That's vampires and werewolves.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
It's a horror romance.
Those are good.
So maybe all these vertical people will end up loving it.
No, I think this is exactly the vibes that they're kind of looking for.
Right? It was really fun to shoot.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of cool elements. And like the set was amazing. And there was a lot of people I was working with that I love. Shout out Mike Ferguson. We were part of our vampire killer team. It was super cool. It's going to come out, I think, on the 28th.
So you guys can literally go watch it right now. It's available in time when this comes out. Sorry, you're like,
I'm really fast. I'm like, hold on. And, you know, it's funny because I shot it a couple of years ago. It took a while to come out. So you have no idea. I'm like,
what's happening?
This happens a lot when you're an actor, is films come out and you haven't seen them. So you're watching them with everyone else. So you're like this, please. And I'm always like, please make the lighting be pretty flattering. And I hope they chose the takes that. Sometimes I'm like, why are they choosing only dramatic takes? At that point, once your performance is done, I'm like, that's somebody else's baby.
That's their project.
That's their job. Listen, that's your problem.
No.
Even if I get bad reviews, well,
the editors.
I don't know. I always like thank someone because they don't realize, like, you know, sometimes these reviewers like put you up against the biggest film. But even now, big films are getting really canned.
Yeah.
But
everyone's a critic. Everyone has something bad to say.
Well, you know what they say is a lot of these critics will say, well, I either need to love it or hate it.
You have to pick a stance. So
you
that
can't be like, it's pretty good.
No one will care. No one will care.
And sometimes people love, like, I always write thank you to someone who reviews it. Even if they're like, I wanted to kill myself. Sadie should quit acting. Her voice grinded on me. Whatever they say, I'm like, you know what? I really appreciated that you actually watched the film and reviewed it. Thank you.
At least you put something out there.
And then a lot of times they'll write me and say, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry I was so mean, but it's part of my algorithm. And I'm like, no worries, dude. Thank you for reviewing it. Or do that. It's a thing. Like the internet, God, you have to be so thick-skinned.
It's hard. It's really hard. But, you know.
Yeah, you had like a meme moment. It's hard.
It's really hard. Just starts crying. Well, speaking of crying, I told Sadie that we are trying to implement workshop activities on the show. Yeah. And I was like, are there any skills or things that you feel like you could really teach us? And you were like,
well, the crying on cue is interesting because I would always say to actors, the second the script tells you to cry, like, you should not. Like, I mean, you should cry if your character is there because a lot of actors get really caught up in the fake cry.
So I'm excited.
So they get really caught up. If you watch an indie film and there's an actor who can cry, they cry in every scene. And it's so annoying because it's like you've showed your party trick and you want to save that. I mean, there's some things like Lifetime, they want you to cry your eyes out. But I do think that it's important that you're connecting to the material first. So there's a couple things.
Yes.
The one thing you have to do about crying on cue is you have to give yourself permission to feel. So you also have to try not to cry. So as you're going, you have to have the idea that you do not want to cry. Like, you got to be strong in this moment and you got to not allow yourself to go there. Some of it is like a breathing thing. Oh, look at this girl.
Look at you.
Like, oh, you're good. I mean,
no, the trying not to cry that is maybe the best tip I've ever heard.
Yeah. Well, and breathing. I mean, like right now, I would say I haven't drank enough water. So even if I cried, if I, stubbed my toe right now, I might not have tears run down like my face. Then you got to really go for it.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of it is breathing, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're so emotionally available.
When we were talking about this, I was like, oh my God, I'm so good at crying on cue. Not because I can make myself cry, but because I'm constantly on the verge of tears and I'm like holding myself back from crying for like no reason. All of my emotions, I think, lead to tears. That's my automatic response.
Interesting.
So if it's time to cry, I am ready.
There's also some people who actually have like, this is a weird thing, but some people have tear ducts that are like, their eyes are ready. Like you have these big, beautiful eyes. Like if I know like, okay, I have to be a really messy crier. I'm going to do all the breathing and things. Someone like you, I'd be like, hold that shit as long as you can because you're going to cry in every scene and then it's going to kill it.
Classic.
Right. And like, I think when I was younger, I probably was on that edge too because it was so stressful to be in my 20s.
It's very stressful. I'm very stressed.
Right.
You had a whole child. I don't know.
And he was amazing. He was amazing. I also think you have to like bond with the person next to you.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I brought something that I've never used.
Let's see it.
I've never used. So a friend of mine who's an actor gave me a tear stick.
I'm really excited about this.
Now, so I've never used, that's not true. I tried it once and I did it too close to the eye.
It looks like lipstick.
I know. So I did it too close to my eye. It burned my eyes. So I may have to run out of the room. Some actors, and I'll even say I did True Detective, and one of the best actresses ever, Rachel McAdams, take after take after take. That's why I said, like, the crying on cue is a little bit of an actor trap, where maybe on cue, I would probably take about 10 minutes off to the side to get myself to that point. Hide the tears, because you don't want to cry.
Yeah.
That's one of the things,
Yeah.
like, you don't want to anticipate what's going on. So you've got to, like, have the emotion ready.
Yeah.
And then hold it.
Prep to
and
cry.
then if you can wait, then, you're emotionally at that place. Whether tears stream out of your face, they will once you do it by the second take anyway, right? So what I was going to say, so Rachel McAdams on True Detective, I watched that they did this tear stick for 2 days because they wanted the tears to come out, and obviously she probably would have ran out of tears with 50 takes before lunch. If you are in a place where you're so nervous and you're not a crier, they say to use this. I have not used this. And even Brad Pitt says that he uses it. But I don't know.
Let's try it out.
Okay.
Can I smell it? It just smells like mint.
I know. So you're supposed to do. So I wanted to save this for you.
Thank you.
Because I was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. So I did read that you have to put it under your eye. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And then, oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh.
So if you're emotional, I'm just curious because now we're not trying to act or anything.
I'm just like, my eyes are just watering.
I know. We're waiting.
You're like crying.
It's interesting because I've never used it. And I think before I put it, you were in the moment, right? Like, I guess you would breathe through it.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to keep breathing. And then at a certain point, you can let them fall because it's burning.
It's burning,
like going
right?
up.
It's really weird. And I think I'm like, oh, I should have drank more water because my eyes do not want to tear. Oh, look at you, girl. Hire this actress right here.
Wow. Wow, I am crying. Wow.
Yeah.
We did it.
Well, I don't feel like I'm officially crying.
You are crying. I see them in your eyes. I see the tears.
I see the tears.
We're tearing.
Yeah, a lot of actors get so hung up on crying on cue. And I'm like, you want the emotions on cue.
Exactly.
And then if you get some tears, that's good. And if not, I guess this is burning them.
This is so funny to me. Well, welcome to Pardon My Success. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm so great.
glad.
I'm just so glad that you wanted to come on the show. It's just about crying.
I know. I feel like I was like, here's a shortcut. My nose is running.
Oh, literally. Wow, this works well. Well, now the more you know.
I know.
Now you know. Well, thank you so much. This was so wonderful. Thank you for coming on and chatting. You are so great. And for crying with me and just
I'm afraid to touch my face.
Me too. We should go wash our hands and our faces. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out all of Sadie's stuff. It's all going to be linked down below. Go follow her. She's incredible. And I love you. And we will chat soon.
Are you PMSing?